I've audited hundreds of accounts, and one of the questions that I'm getting asked the most is how can I lower my ACOS fast without decreasing my rank? And in this video, I'm going to show you a few simple tactics that you can implement from today that will help you to reduce your spend, help you to reduce your ACOS, and hopefully maintain your rank. Now stay tuned for strategy number 3 because this is one of the most overlooked strategies. Now before we start with strategy number 1, it's important for me to mention that ACOS is important, but ACOS is more important. And the reason is that one of the goals of PPC is to actually increase your organic sales. So if we working on a brand and we're doing changes in the PPC, but the organic sales not improving, probably or usually we're doing something wrong. So please bear it in your mind. I'm going to show you how to lower your ACOS, but by far the most important thing is to see how can we decrease the spend, but keep or increase our organic sales. Tactic number 1, organization. So before you even start messing with your PPC and try to close campaigns, you need to first understand your brand. And now, if you're the brand owner and you're already selling in Amazon a few years, you probably know which match types, which campaigns working well and which not. And with this data, you can actually do a lot of changes. And I want to show you a case study. We got this brand in around July, and as you can see, sales didn't went up a lot, but the profit really improved. And the reason the profit improved is because we managed to identify fast what's working for the brand and what's not. And you can see, for example, here that ACOS even went down a little bit, but the ACOS really slashed by half. As I mentioned, as a brand owner or as a PPC manager, you always need to know what are your core campaigns that are working well and what are your campaigns that you're testing. And if, for example, you're testing too many things and you already have low margin, it's better to start with them. Close the things that you are testing and analyze your match types to see where you have the best conversion and when you have the best ACOS. So you can download those reports in the ad console. I already did it for the sake of this video, and I want to show you an example. Here we can see the distribution of the campaigns in this brand. So we can see the broad, the phrase, the exact, the category, async, the video, and we can see where most of the spend stand and where most of the sales stand. And when we got this account, we saw that they have a lot of sponsored display. So usually for me, sponsored product is the core, is what make 80% of the sales. And on top of the sponsored brand and sponsored display, usually they will be the first things I will test closing. Obviously, the easiest thing is to see where you have the wasted ad spend, when you have the lots of clicks and no sales, but I try to go more deeper than that to make this video a bit more analytical than usual. So let's say you already remove all the keywords that have high clicks, no sales, you already optimize your PPC, and now you still try to cut more of the wasted ad spend. So if your campaign is organized and you have one match type per campaign, you can easily get this graph. And I can see that, for example, ACOS for broad is pretty high and it's even higher than exact. Now the thing is that when you're pushing in exact, you know exactly which keyword you're pushing, and usually those campaigns help you ranking. And broad is more for discovery or those long tail keywords. And if you see that your broad have higher ACOS than the exact, probably there's something wrong here. And what you can do is start lowering the bids and even start closing campaigns and see what happened to your sales. Let's say I'm closing campaigns on Monday, and after 1 week I see that the sales are the same, the rank is the same, but my ACOS or ACOS went down. Probably this campaign wasn't relevant. So you can always start by see which campaigns have the least conversion, the highest ACOS, and go from there. Also, as I mentioned, I filtered by the sponsored display, and we can see that we had quite a lot of sponsored display. And when we closed them, we saw that nothing has changed. So I highly suggest start with the sponsored display, start with the sponsored brand, then go for the highest ACOS, lower conversion. For me, usually it will be sponsored display, test to cut, then sponsored brand, then category and broad, then phrase PAT, and only then exact, because exact usually is the core. Then if you have relevant keywords, usually it's the most important match type. Strategy number 2, remove duplicated keywords and test removing same keywords in different match types. So this strategy is better for more mature products that already are the best sellers, or they have the best selling rank that we can possibly get for this product. Let's say you're selling triple the price of the best seller and your rank is 5, and you pushed a lot to improve the rank, but you know that this is the rank that you will get. You never or only in deals went to position 4 and 3. You probably know, okay, this is my benchmark rank. So it's good for those products or products that are best sellers. So removing duplicated keywords in the same match type, I'm assuming is something you're already doing. If you have, let's say, notebook and you have it in exact in 2 different campaigns, usually you will increase your wasted ad spend. Why? Because we can see only one ad per top of search or rest of search. So you can see only one ad. And if you have 2 keywords in similar match type that competing at the same position, you're probably not doing anything. And you're not also organized. From what I saw, removing those duplicated keywords can help. Now, I want to show you a case study study of one of mistakes that we did with one of the best-selling products of one account. And it's super interesting. So check it out. Scale Insight. This product have high sales during the summer and is the best seller on this category. And we can see that the sales went up, but the profit did not. And one of the reasons why, and I want to show you the tacos. Check, we had 1% tacos, then 3%, and we pushed it until 8 without seeing very good results. Now, September was already out of season, so we had to do it. But here, basically the mistake that we did, and it's very easy to fall into this trap. When we got this account, we had few keywords that are position 1, and we had only exact on them. And we thought that maybe having the same keyword, different match type, let's say phrase and broad, can help us. But because this product had such a good rank on all of these keywords, what we basically did is to cannibalize our sales. So we took different match types, we got those sales, so we saw increase in PPC sales, as you saw in Scale Insight. But the total sales didn't improve. And this is such an important point. If you see that your PPC sales going up and your organics or total sales stay the same, you probably cannibalize your sales. So I highly suggest check Rank Radar, and you can see all the keywords that we have, we are position 1 or 2. So many times it makes no sense to put them in different match types. And maybe you also have similar product or you have your keyword that you have good rank. I highly suggest take those keywords, see where you are spending, maybe you have exact phrase and broad, and eliminate the match types that have the highest ACOS or the least conversion. Most of times your organic sales will go up and your total sales won't change much. The goal of this strategy is to try be lean as possible. I do agree that if you have higher margin, it's better to test it out. But if you already tested and you didn't see improve, or you want to improve your margin, start with those duplicated keywords with different match type. Usually closing the broad will help, but again, see which match type has the most amount of sales, the best ACOS, and the best conversion. Sometimes it will be the phrase, sometimes, very rare, it will be the broad. So don't just go and close all the phrase and broad. Do it smartly. Strategy number 3, optimize your placements on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Clicks are not equal. If you're getting clicks on one keyword, it doesn't necessarily mean you're improving your rank. Maybe actually you're decreasing your rank. It's very important to optimize your placements on weekly or bi-weekly basis. And for the sake of this example, I want to show you placements table that I created based on the ad console for the brand that I mentioned in strategy 2. And here is the thing. Usually we have 3 types of placements. And if you want to learn more about those placements, please check my previous video. I covered them in depth. But you need to understand where you're getting the most amount of sales and where your conversion is better. Many times I see people pushing their main keywords in exact, and when I'm checking the placement, all of their clicks going to product pages, which we already know that product pages is not helping improving rank. Usually top of search is the only place to improve rank, but also sometimes top of search is either too expensive or the conversion is not that good as rest of search. So you need to know your niche and you need to understand it on a bi-weekly basis and not just push top of search because this is what everyone's doing in LinkedIn. You need to really learn your account and understand where you're getting the most amount of sales. For example, here we can see that top of search get 52% of the spend but only 50% of the sales, and the ACS is pretty high here. Obviously the conversion is higher, but the CPC is higher, and we can see that the product pages, the ACS is much lower. So maybe we can push a little bit more our product targeting or category targeting to the product pages, because we can see that we're getting better results here. So the goal here is to understand on which placement you have the best amount of sales or the cheapest amount of sales, and also learn which placement give you the best rank. As I mentioned, if you already have the best rank possible, maybe it's better to test different placements. When you're testing it, it's important to see that your rank is not decreasing. So always check your placement. Now, I had also another bonus strategy that sometimes it's easy to forget. As a PPC manager, or if you have as a brand owner a PPC manager, usually it's very easy to get into a tunnel vision and just increase the spend and just push harder and harder to improve the rank like it's a race and you have to get to position 1. And sometimes what I'm seeing is people have a tunnel vision and instead of checking different ways, they just keep pushing and pushing the spend. And it's not always the case. So for example, I highly suggest you, if you already have rank 1 or you at the best rank you can possibly get, try to actually decrease your spend. Try to take the keyword that you have position 1 and every few days lower the bids and lower the placement and see if maybe you can sustain this position with less amount of spend. Now obviously if your rank is start to drop, you need to push again, but it's a delicate balance. And if you will manage to, let's say, decrease your spend by 10 to 20% and still be at the same positions, your margin will be higher. And it's such an important point. So I highly suggest you to test it from today. This was my 4 main tactics, how to improve your ACOS. Always remember that the goal of PPC is to improve your organic sales,